So I
Okay.
just knew I wanted to be in business. How I kind of got into this, I do work in the technology field, but how I really got into this is, one day I went go-karting and I was just like stuck behind the person in front of me. And this guy was really, really good. I'm telling you, So in go-karting, they got something called overtake where you try to find like an opportunity to pass them around the corners. And this guy was just hitting all his corners close to the edge. Like I couldn't get past him. And I was like, man, I wish I could take a page out of Mario Kart and like throw a turtle shell at this brother to slow him down. And when I got off the go-karts, man, I couldn't stop talking about it. I was talking to friends and family like, man, what if, what if, what if? And they was like, man, if you can't stop talking about it, maybe you should be the one to make it happen. And so that was back in 2014. And in 2021, we were officially granted the patents over this technology. So we have exclusivity until year 2040.
Welcome to the Let Bob podcast. It's your boy Ant. We got another exciting episode of the podcast today. Got another Black King in the building with us today. Another founder of an awesome company. He's going to tell us all about it. Name of the company is Emotional Ideas. These guys have created an amazing technology that allow for something new called battle racing. We're going to all learn today what that is and what it's about. And the founder and CEO is with us today, Mr. Joshua Nelson.
How you doing, my brother?
Mr. Nelson, how's it going?
All good, all good. Happy to be alive.
Oh man, same here, same here. So talk to us first about Emotional Ideas. So tell us a little bit about the company.
So Emotional Ideas is a sports and entertainment technology company. Our goal is to take amusement products, games, and attractions that most people grew up with and find a way to make it more relative to the current generation. So first, we're starting with the sport of motorsport, but more specifically go-karting. A lot of people don't know that NASCAR started in like 1948, Formula One in 1950, and then that go-karts were invented in 1956. We're here in 2023, 60 something plus years later, and nothing has changed outside of going from gas vehicles to electric vehicles. And so I kind of want to change all that. I really truly feel that the current landscape of racing is kind of boring. I hate to say it like that. I kind of feel like people don't really want to watch a car go left for 200 laps. No shade to NASCAR. It's just, hey. So my company has set out to kind of change the viewpoint on racing and gaming. And so again, my company is a sports and technology company, and we're using our technology to change the way that everyone sees racing. And then we're using something that a lot of people grew up with to make that change.
No, that's cool stuff, man. So you got my vote because I love racing. Motorcycles is what I came up racing on. I grew up on four-wheelers, ATVs.
Yeah.
In the woods. So definitely raced a lot with that. And then now my kids, I have them on ATVs, and I just purchased a go-kart for them here too. So that's
okay.
Yeah. So much like you said, like going around in circles, it could, if you're driving, it's fun, but if you're watching, you gotta love it. You gotta love
it. I kind of feel like the drivers are a little bored too, but hey.
Okay. All right. So that's interesting though, that space you're in, not being knowledgeable of it, because I don't watch a lot of NASCAR or a lot of that type of racing. So is it a lot of people of color in that space, or are you kind of pioneering your way in?
Yeah, I mean, as you all know, NASCAR hasn't really been a place for people that look like us, but they're trying to make changes. Michael Jordan bought a team. Floyd Mayweather has a team. Everybody always talks about Bubba Wallace, one of the black drivers that's in NASCAR. But I think we need something completely different. I would say that my product is more so leaning toward the gaming and the esports side of things.
Okay.
So I like to say that our product is built for drivers, but designed for gamers. That's kind of like our tagline for our product. So our product is actually called the Battle Console RS1, Recreational Series 1. So essentially our product is like a gaming console, like a PlayStation or Xbox or a Microsoft Xbox or Nintendo that attaches onto an existing go-kart. So we take off the body shell, we take off the steering wheel, and we've created our own gamified console that attaches onto the system. So now, instead of just driving around and seeing who has the fastest car or who can go around the fastest, now you have we have now supplemented virtual gaming on top of physical reality. So now as you're actually driving around, you can actually shoot the vehicle ahead of you or behind you, speed boost around them, or a toggle rear view camera and see who's behind you, a type deal. So it's essentially bringing every person's dream that played video games around the early 90s to life. Basically real life Mario Kart. That's the best way I can explain it. So I'm essentially trying to introduce combat motorsports, without people actually blowing up. And there's no need for a VR headset. But you're just as you are in your car. You don't stare at your dashboard. You glance at it to see your RPMs, your miles per hour, and you're looking at the road. That's the same way we've invented our technology. Is that the steering wheel has buttons and triggers just like a gaming controller. You have display screens to show you your performance indicators, place of the race, lap count, what power item you have, how much health is in your vehicle. And that right there is really what would make this sport of battle racing different. And it is not about who can pay to build the fastest vehicle, because that's kind of the way it is now. I want to create, what I love about video games is that no matter how good you are versus how good I am, when we play a video game, we both sit down and it's up to your individual skill to say you're better. I want to bring that to the sport of racing. So battle racing is set to create a competitive atmosphere where now gamers can just equally feel like they got some say. And so I kind of joke with my team all the time. I said, I'm excited when we start marketing and we take a professional race car driver versus a professional gamer and let them race on the track. Who's better? Somebody that fully understands driving mechanics or somebody that's very proficient in strategy and skill?
Nah, that sounds really exciting, man. Nah, that's creative also, man. Like, I've never heard of anything like that. So are you guys the first to do this, or did you see it somewhere and now you just kind of evolving it, or did you come up with this idea?
So there's other companies around the world have attempted something like this. What makes us different is that everyone else that has attempted to gamify racing, as I would say, typically stops at it being something for fun. Okay. We're taking it 2 steps above fun and making it competitive. Now, we know that all sports start off as fun before it became competitive. So that's our way into the market. But we're designing this to be a sport. So a lot of people look at what we're building and say, oh, that's an attraction ride. I say, no, this is an attraction sport. So something you can come do for fun, or you can come compete and be the best in your city. Our whole goal is that our technology will be initially placed on amusement go-karts as a fun way to introduce battle racing to the world. But then we're going to take this same technology and put it on a bigger, faster vehicle to create a pro league in addition to NASCAR and Formula One, a new industry vertical, if you will.
Oh, that's slick, man. I like that. So where are you located?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, you're in Memphis. Oh, okay. All right.
Born and raised. Yeah.
That's what's up. Nah, man. Like Memphis, man. I'll be in Memphis in the next couple of months, man. On a little Bob campaign.
Okay, just holler at me when you're in town.
Oh yeah, I want to come with one of these go-karts. Okay. I want to come check you out. But nah, Memphis is I'm hearing lots going on in Memphis for people who look like us. I'm hearing a lot of exciting things.
I agree.
Trying to come up there.
I'm actually glad you said that. When people think about Memphis, they think music, they think sports. But I'm excited to kind of show something outside of the norm. When I say sports, you think about football, basketball, University of Memphis and the Memphis Grizzlies, that type of Titans up in Nashville. Yeah. I'm more so excited to show that there's another side to Memphis as well. Outside of the Yo Gottis and black youngsters and all of that, there's more talent. There's more things that's being developed here in this city. And so I'm happy to kind of promote that.
Yeah, anytime I talk about Memphis, I always have to say RIP to my boy Dolph. That was my dude, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was very big supporter of his music and just his entrepreneurship spirit just in general. No, it's a lot going on there, man. That's always exciting for our brand to see that, because we're all about black-owned business. So to see all these different brothers too, young black men doing all this stuff is exciting stuff. And so
you say pressure make diamonds, right? So it's a lot of pressure here in Memphis. So there's a lot of diamonds coming out of this city.
Oh, that's nice, man. So did you go to school for tech, or how did you get into the technology space?
So I got my degree from University of Memphis in business management. So I just knew I wanted to be in business. How I kind of got into this, I do work in the technology field, but how I really got into this is, one day I went go-karting and I was just like stuck behind the person in front of me. And this guy was really, really good. I'm telling you, So in go-karting, they got something called overtake, where you try to find like an opportunity to pass them around the corners. And this guy was just hitting all his corners close to the edge. Like I couldn't get past them. And I was like, man, I wish I could take a page out of Mario Kart and like throw a turtle shell at this brother and slow him down. And when I got off the go-karts, man, I couldn't stop talking about it. I was talking to friends and family like, man, what if? And they was like, man, if you can't stop talking about it, maybe you should be the one to make it happen. And so that was back in 2014. And in 2021, we were officially granted the patents the patents over this technology. So we have exclusivity until year 2040. And then we just completed our prototypes this month. So now we're in the process of shooting a demo video to show the world what we're working on, and then we're raising our next round of funding.
No, man, no, this is exciting, man. Oh, I love it. I love it. So I'm assuming you're talking about the Autobahn when you're on the go-kart.
Yeah, you talking about here in Memphis?
Yeah, do they have an Autobahn in Memphis?
Yes, they do have an Autobahn, but I was at an old school place they call Put Put. That's been here like forever. Okay. I was on the old school gas go-karts. Yeah.
Okay, nah. So Autobahn, they had these electric go-karts that go like 50 miles per hour. They have them. They have one here in Birmingham.
Yeah,
and man, I love it. Ooh,
yeah, I mean, the track sucks, but yeah.
Yeah. Nah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So y'all got y'all patents, man. This is exciting, man. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of our sleeves that people don't realize. One thing I'll share with you is one of our patents cover the ability to add a selfie camera on the go-karts. Okay. So you can stream your race in real time over social media. So let's just say, you and I were friends over Facebook, and I was at a place with the go-karts and you was actually following me. And if I got in the go-kart and went live, you would get a notification that says, Joshua, it's battle racing live. Would you like to watch? And so from the comfort of your home and your device, you can see what place of race I'm in, what lap I'm on, what power item I got hit by. There's a microphone in my helmet so you can hear me. And what's even more cool is that you can send me like a emoji thumbs up. So while I'm racing, I can see how many people are watching me. I can see emojis going up the screen, just like you see when someone goes live. I just can't see who sent them. So we're trying to bridge that gap between those that are spectating and those that are driving. For me, I feel because we have a goal of creating battle racing as a professional sport, it must also entertain the driver as much as the spectator. I think a lot of people, when they're creating stuff, only make it for the person that's immediately enjoying the entertainment. I'm already looking down the road. I'm like, no, if this is going to scale, I need both parties to be equally interested. And that's kind of the way we're going with it.
Now that's slick. So let me make sure I understand though. So are you actually racing when you're experiencing your technology, or are you at a standstill?
These are real moving vehicles.
Oh, okay, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's why I said we want to introduce combat motorsports. Okay. I don't know. One day they might call me the grandfather of combat motorsports. I don't know. But I want to create a sport where it's beyond just who has the fastest vehicle. Yeah. And we're going over and beyond as well. We have something called landmines, which are like these physical colored floor tags that are placed around the track that changes colors, red, yellow, green. And as you drive your go-karts over them based off the color, it gives you a said effect. So like green would be like a quick speed boost, red would be like major damage. And what really makes battle racing different from traditional racing is that on every vehicle, we have something called the battle gauge. And the battle gauge is like the health bar for your vehicle. So you got 10 bars. Each bar represents 10% of your speed. So every time you take damage, whether it's major, which is 20%, or minor, which is 10%, your go-kart will reduce in speed in equivalence to your health. So the only way to restore your health is looking for purple landmines. So again, we're creating a sport that's like, okay, you can drive fast, but you better pay attention to those around you, the landmines. Like it's a whole game of skill and strategy.
Nah, I like it, man. This is some slick stuff, man. Very creative.
Thank you.
And I believe, to your point, from a gaming esport point of view, I think it's something that should definitely scale. I think the adoption will be there. As a person who plays video games, it sounds like something I definitely. I'm already like, man, I want to see if I can, be a test dummy when I go up there. Right?
Yeah. I'm excited. We got so many tricks up our sleeve. Like that's. I haven't even shared with you half of what we're planning to present to the community. So, my goal is to open up what we call battle racing city hubs across the U.S. And they will basically be these 60 to 100,000 square foot open buildings with a custom indoor track that you can come in and race all day. I want to create an environment that, I want to kind of create like a pickup game type of environment where everybody's kind of standing around waiting to race and they hop in and try to see what score they get at the end of the race so they can rank up and down. And that's something that I'm also very excited about, is that we kind of got like what I call like a repeat customer incentive built in. And it's that at the end of every race, you receive points based off of what position of the race you ended in. Okay. So places 1 through 5th place, it's in increments of 20. So first place, 100, 80, 60, all the way down to 6th place. And any place after 6th place, you start to lose points, negatives. And so that is your battle score. And that battle score allows you to be a part of what we call a battle ranking. And that battle ranking allows you to go between bronze, silver, gold, and such. So you're constantly going up and down to see where you rank at the end of every month. And, I want to get in a position where I can do cash prize tournaments every month and pay some people bills.
Nah, that's real slick, man. That's real slick. So talk to us about some of the challenges that you faced in this journey. It sounds like you've achieved so much, but often onlookers think that with success it was easy, it was simple, like you just got the patent and you just all been gravy, right? So talk to us about some of the obstacles you faced.
Well, one, I wasn't born into money. I don't have a trust fund. I don't have any of that. So me building what I'm trying to build, it wasn't like I was trying to open up a lemonade stand. So if I have to be frank, I probably kind of gave up on the idea maybe like 2 times since 2014 because it got difficult, because it takes money to make money. They're just plain and simple. So I know financial literacy is something that you guys are big on. That's something that I had to learn in order to get to where I'm at today. So when I realized that I was broke and I didn't have the money, I started learning, well, how can I get the money? I kind of learned, they say, don't say what you can't do, say, how can you do it? And so when I started thinking of how can I, all these ideas popped in my head. Well, I was like, well, maybe credit, maybe this. And I was like, well, I don't know anything about those things. And so I started educating myself on how credit works and how things of that nature work. So I was in a position where I started learning the credit game, started to increase my credit score, started to be applicable to a lot of credit cards. And I used that to fund where I'm at today. Refinance my house, max credit cards, me and my founder did. We did the standard way. And then we did enough to where we was able to get an angel investor in to put some money behind it. And, people say, well, we're not investing in the business. We're investing in you. We like you. We see your tenacity. And I was like, okay, I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate that, but let me show you what I can do with it. And so with that, to date, we raised $280K toward this project. But I'm kind of happy to say that even though we've only raised like $280K, what we've done with that $280K should have really cost $700K. So, networking is just as important as the money that you have. They say it's not about what you know, who you know. So a lot of that came with discounts. People did favors, helped a brother out because they seen that we was working towards something. So, that was that big obstacle, is trying to get in a position where even though I had a great idea, people wanted to see a product or a prototype. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to build a prototype with no money? And as quiet as it kept, I was in my mind, I was like, but I see other people that don't look like me raising millions and they barely have an idea. I got business plans, IP, all of that, so it was just a matter of believing in what I'm building, having support of those that believe with me. They say you can go faster by yourself, but further with others. So when I got other people to kind of join the team and get behind me, it was almost like a train that I can't stop now, even if I wanted to.
Nah, that's good. And I think that's familiar to Black entrepreneurs. Access to capital, unfortunately, is one of the greater challenges in entrepreneurship for people of color. But we have to be creative in our approach and how we get to what we want, right? More importantly, you have to believe enough in your dream and yourself to keep going. Like you said, I'm the founder of Let Bob Technologies, and what it's become is definitely not what I thought when I first came up with this. It's grown into all these things and what we're doing, and it was all just because I was obedient enough to stay, with the vision. And trust God's plan for it, right? I'm a big believer of, following God's plan. Sure, whatever I'm doing aligns with what His plan is for me, and choosing people to be a part of that plan accordingly. And I think we've done a good job over here picking, the right people to be a part of the journey.
Most definitely. That's
I think the hard thing you deal with as a founder is, maybe choosing somebody you think is the right person and then having to cut somebody. I think for me, at least, I found that was some of the that's been challenging a couple of times when I've had to do that.
I think for me, one of the biggest challenges is you're needing money. Someone has money, but you don't like the person that has the money.
So
decision. Do I really need the money? Is this money worth the potential headache for partnering with this person?
That's good.
I've turned away a lot of opportunities because to me, the piece of what I'm building needs to be done correctly. And I kind of had this thing where I don't want to let our people down. I'm 30. I'm 30 years old. So I've had time to kind of like watch what happened with others. And I see how some of us get an opportunity and we drop the ball. I don't want to drop the ball. And I don't want it to be because I was so greedy and too hasty that I took the first dollar that was presented to me. So I believe that they have to like me as much as I like them. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Sometimes it's hard when you still broke and you still working multiple jobs and you like, man, I should have took that check. But that peace of mind, knowing that you still have peace in your company, I think is priceless.
No, you're dead on, man. I learned that lesson early on, and it matters. It's you have to kind of look at investing like you would a marriage, right? It
Yeah.
has to be a compatibility there,
Yes.
because there's gonna be some rough times while you're building.
Right.
What you think should happen, or what you envision is gonna happen, or what you have planned out to
Right.
happen, may not always happen. It may
Right.
not always happen on time. You may have to pivot. In fact, you will have to pivot.
You will have to pivot. Yeah.
And who you partner with, you have to be partnered with someone
Right.
who believes in the vision.
That's
Even if
good.
they have the money, if they don't believe in the vision, to your point, it could definitely cost your peace to your company. So I commend you for learning that early, to be wise in who you take money from. That's a big one. I've seen people take money from certain people and lose their companies in some
Right.
cases.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah. So we don't want that type of pressure on you while you're trying to create
Right.
and execute the vision. Yeah.
I mean,
So
it's only so much you can vet people. So I have to pray. I'm at a point now where I will admit I used to get very frustrated when a door was closed. Now I'm at a point now where before I even have the meeting, I'm like, Lord, I want your will to be done. If it ain't meant for me to walk through this door, then I'm asking that you close it.
correct.
Sometimes you ask for that, then when it happens, you be like, oh, but then you have to remind, okay, God, this ain't what you want for me. I know you have my best in heart. So
Yeah, no, same here, man. I say I call it victims of God's plan for me. So my discipline and my obligation is to identify who the victims are. And so when I'm meeting people, when I'm networking, when I'm out, depending on what we're out for, I'm always aware of who's in the room, always. And just listen to their discussion, or listen to a discussion, or just in a discussion with different people, if they are compatible with what we believe and what we're working on.
right.
And it's not always that they have to be an investor. It's just good to network with people,
Agreed.
have people that you can reach out to and maybe throw an idea off of, or just talk to about what you're trying to achieve, that it's not a monetary benefit for them or for you. It's just a matter of getting an unbiased opinion because they're not in bed with you, right?
I agree. I mean, I agree 100%. My only issue with that sometimes is that people, you know how people be. It may have started off with them just giving you advice, and then once you made it, it's like, all right, where's my cut? I thought we would just. So that's kind of one of those spaces I'm in now. I got everyone calling, wanting to give me advice, and they kind of sneaking there how they want a job or how they want some type of royalties. So I'm at a point now where I have to be open and honest with everybody from the get go. Like, what is the nature of this relationship? Because I got a lot of people that I feel like start off like, oh, just call me when you need me. Then it's like, when I supposed to get that percentage? What percentage?
Yeah, no, you definitely got a point there. And I think that just comes from, being black in America. You have to move different.
Yeah, you do.
But you have to always know, to your point, if you're obedient to God's plan, you're protected. You live by that rule, they can't breach it.
Right.
I was like that early on with Bob. I didn't want to really share a lot about what we were doing or what we had coming up. But once I learned if it's God's plan for me, so they can't take
Right.
it, they can't steal it.
Right.
It's for me to do. So I'm more open to it now, and it's been beneficial. Because I've met some very smart people. I meet people like yourself. Like, I've never heard of this, and I'm learning, listening to this. I'm like, oh man, what come to mind for me is like, what can we do to help this gentleman? How can we help this gentleman if he needs help? How can we be a resource for him? So,
I tell you one thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you interviewed the brothers from Earn Your Leisure, didn't it?
I did. Yes,
you did. I want to intro them brothers. That's what you can do for me.
They want to intro to them, huh?
Yes.
All right, we'll see if we can make something happen, man. And then those guys, I was even in that interview, I expressed the excitement for that, because those are young brothers who are doing, some awesome stuff in our community.
Inspiring.
Very inspiring. And so they've done it, right? And they did it. They started from scratch. They're our story, at a not at a peak, but just at a really strong place.
Right.
To hear their story and to talk to them was definitely exciting. And so we'll see if we can make some shake there, man. We'll see if we can make some shake.
Okay. Yeah,
But,
I'm excited about the future of what we're doing. I know there's a lot of obstacles. You know, I've done so much work right now. Like a lot of people don't know, I got like 3 jobs right now. You know, trying to make ends meet because it's a startup. Everything you got really needs to go to the business unless you really have enough to pay yourself. You know, everyone wants to quickly say, make sure you pay yourself, but how do you, when you only have a limited amount of funds and you have a goal that you need to achieve, paying yourself, it's like, okay, if I pay myself, I may not be able to make it to this goal. I rather just, sacrifice. So, I got like 4 jobs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm always going. I'm like, soon I better get what I need to be able to stop working, to work on, to be fully vested. I mean, I'm fully vested now, but I have to go work another job and work an overnight job to pay for this business, to pay for this idea. I got a wife. I got married in 2013, and I have 4 beautiful children. I just had a set of twins, all with my same wife. So it's a lot. I'm motivated, but it's pressure.
It is. It's a lot of pressure, and I'm glad you're expressing that because that's a side people don't see when they see the result. Yeah. Right. So when you see Earn Your Leisure, for an example, they have families, they have times where they've had to grind it out that most people don't know about. Now you just see the brand and you're like, oh man, they're doing this and they're doing that. Right. But there's a lot that goes in there, man. It's a lot of days you don't eat. It's a lot of days, to your point, where you got to choose between paying a light bill maybe or paying a bill for the business.
Right.
And as a founder, for me, the business I always get it, and I was fortunate to have a spouse who was, okay with that. And sometimes that's a challenge. Sometimes, spouse may not, agree with that, or your partners may not agree with that. And so balancing that mental pressure is very important in the journey.
I'm definitely thankful for my wife. She's definitely supported me through and through. She's sacrificed, dropping out of schools and doing a lot of things. We have, she stays at home and takes care of the children at home. Yeah. So even though I work all these jobs and business and such, I couldn't do it if I didn't have the peace of mind that my home and children would be good.
Right.
That kind of pushes me to say, okay, I'm gonna take this extra step to risk to do what I need to do because I know that you done what you need to do for the household. So everything I'm doing now is like I want to make sure that my wife's effort is not in vain.
Yeah. Nah, same here, man. Same here. Definitely. My wife has been very supportive and has allowed, because I have 2 young kids. And so I've been on this grind since 2017.
Okay.
And so when I tell you I've been grinding, man, I flew when I needed to fly. I've drove when I need to drive. I've not slept when I need to stay up. I've done it all. I've learned when I need to learn. I've took tests. I've done everything necessary to keep this ball rolling. All out of the belief that this is God's plan, but from the support of my wife, my family, all of my business partners, I've had to make business decisions that there were some hard decisions, man. Yeah. Because you're the founder. It's like, if you make it, you're right. It's good. Yeah. If you make it wrong, you cost everybody some capital, right?
Right.
And so I've made those decisions. Most have been good, but there have been some bad decisions in there too. And I've just been fortunate to be surrounded by a good network of people to keep me pushing. And it sounds like that's your mix too, and that's good, man. I think that's smart of you to have established that kind of structure around yourself to keep the vision going.
Yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been a struggle, but I'm at a point now where I feel like the people that's a part of my team and that supported me, God sent them, literally.
Yeah.
And so with them being around, shout out to those guys, the people that's on my team that's helping us. Some of those guys been rocking me since 2015, some within the last year, some within the last 3 years. Some I met on working another job. I'm like, hey, I like you. I see your tenacity. Come join me. Type of deal. So, I'm thankful. I'm just excited to show everybody what's coming next. And if I would say, I think we are I think we're about to make history. Black people, they say every time we touch something, it's magical. And when you look at all the different sports, it seems like we done made an impact on every sport. I'm looking forward to making an impact on motorsports.
Well, look, man, you keep pushing, young man, and you do what you're doing. We support you. Like I say, we'll see if we can make that intro for you, and any other thing that you think we could do as a brand to help you out. We're all for it. Do you have any social media you want to provide for our audience to catch up with?
You can check out my website, battleracing.com. Make sure you put the .com on the end of that. If you look on any social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn, just type in Emotional Ideas Inc. and you'll see us.
All right, cool, man. I want one of them shirts when I come to Memphis too, man.
Yeah. This ain't even the best of it. You got the
Okay, all right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, got to have one of those, man. Got to have one of those, please. So we'll let you know. I should be up there in a couple months, man. My team will reach out and see if we can get on your schedule, come check you out, and give me one of them.
Yeah, just holler at me. Unfortunately, the prototype's not going to be ready just yet. They're up north in Michigan right now. I'm down in Tennessee, but we're in the process of getting a facility down here soon.
Okay. All right, that's cool. Well, we appreciate you for coming on, man, and sharing your vision and sharing your progress. Again, you got our support, man, and we hope that you continue to, strive to achieve your goal, man, and have the success and make history in the racing industry like you intend to, man. We believe in you over here.
Thank you, man.
All right, cool. It's been another great episode of Let Bob Podcast. You can find us on all social media, the company at We Are Let Bob, and you can find me personally at I Am Let Bob. And we out.